Hello Game TD's Fantasy Football League. First off, I would like to extend some sincere apologies to everybody in this league. I know I devoted myself to give you weekly updates for fantasy football throughout the season. However, due to a couple mosquito bites, stub toes, and other nonsense reasons that really don't matter here, I didn't give you the updates that you deserved. However, I am here to deliver an end of season video update of the regular season with a special thing for the playoffs. So, with that being said, my name is Chad Chats, and this is your Game of TD's Fantasy Football Update. Starting with our league leader, we have the Dead Horses with a dominant 10-4 league record, led by an amazing dark horse quarterback in Jalen Hurts. The Dead Horses are definitely galloping to the forefront of the Game of TD's Fantasy Football rankings. Despite initial projections showing a 9th place finish for the Dead Horses, they are now leading the pack with their first place position for the first round of playoffs. In our second playoff bye, we have Literal Trash. While this team has a name with trash in their name, all I can say is they're nothing but a treasure. Led by an amazing 1-2 punch of Josh Allen and Jamar Chase, Literal Trash has launched themselves into the playoffs. With a Week 1 playoff bye, will this rest cause trouble, or will this lead to an amazing league win? From the other side of the board, we unfortunately have to talk about La Reina del Sur, who finished in last place in the regular season for our Game of TD's Fantasy Football League. Despite their ups and downs, and with stars like Tyreek Hill, the Queen has fallen and is now at the bottom of the league. However, with powerhouses in reserve, next year may spell a return of the Queen. Next, we have Team All I Do Is Win, for who the most part has done anything but win. While most teams through the last 2 years have dealt with a bug known as COVID, All I Do Is Win has dealt with a bug called injury and bad luck. Stars like Kyler Murray and Jimmy Garoppolo going down has hampered All I Do Is Win season. We can all hope for a resurgence next year. Now, most teams say you need a superstar to win, but Jack has shown that is not the case. While there are solid players such as Dalvin Cook and A.J. Brown on this team, this is not what you would call a star-studded roster. Through all of that, Jack has shown that a well-balanced roster can get you the number 3 slot in the final regular season standings in fantasy football. But will this well-balanced team be enough to send to the finish line? Only time will tell. Next up, we have to talk about our commissioner, the Commish Bish, who had a stellar initial ranking of a 2nd place finish after the draft. However, this season has shown once again that projections mean little in fantasy football. Falling from initial 2nd place position, our commissioner fell to 10th place this season. Unfortunate matchups led to the demise of this team, despite their amazing 2 running back combo of Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry. Our next team to make the playoffs is really digging themselves, as KU Digs It makes the playoffs once again. After a league win last year, our league champion fell to 4th place. Despite the dominance of players such as Stephon Diggs and a breakout running back in Tony Pollard, our league champion still has to prove herself in the playoffs to see if back-to-back champions are truly possible. Now, just keep winning. Decide to live up to their name this year. Decide pulling up their 3rd lowest points this year. This team seemed to always win. Narrowly missing out on the playoffs, we all have to wonder, is it the team? Is it the coaching? Is it luck? Or is it the sheer drive to win that put this team so far above the rest? Our next team sure wish they were feeling funky, but I'm sure all they're feeling is funk. Despite a league-high 1,569 points, Dr. Z's Funky Time team barely made the playoffs this year. While I'm sure this team is hoping that his high scoring will lead him to a league championship, history is not in his favor. But does history repeat itself, or is it destined to change? Next, new words to explain the next team. I would go so close. Just so close. These are words that my analysts had described the season of Chiquita Pero Picosa. Despite an impressive showing throughout the year, on the back of stars such as Joe Burrow and Devontae Adams, Pero Picosa falls just short of a playoff berth. Is the next year the fire that will make Picosa extra fiery, or are we seeing his embers? Finally, we have our newest member in the game of TDs, Kristen, narrowly slipping into the playoffs with a record of 7-7. Kristen has shown in her first year her aptitude for fantasy football. With an absolutely dominant running back in Austin Eckler, she has shown herself a force to be reckoned with. With that being said, in our regular season update, now we're going to jump into our first playoff week in the game of TD's Fantasy Football League. First off, for our bye weeks, we are a first place team with the Dead Horses and second place team Liberal Trash. Despite the downer names of the teams, they have shown themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. Our two champions of the regular season wait to see what opponents come from the playoffs to challenge them in the reigning powers that they stand at right now. Now in the games that matter next week, our third place champion, Jack Jack, looks to take on our newest challenger, Kristen, in our third versus sixth place round. Kristen is ready to accept the challenge of a veteran and hopes to take down an experienced foe. Will Jack Jack attack, or will a new challenger arise? Now, in the Battle of Spouses, in the Battle of Dallas, we have Kanu Digson facing Dr. Z's Funky Time team. While Dr. Z comes in with a strong point advantage, Diggs comes in with a matchup advantage. Will the Battle of Spouses create animosity between the couples, or will the loser rally behind the winner? With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, manners is all. This has been your Game of TD's Fantasy Football regular season recap with our playoff projection. I hope you've enjoyed your special video presentation this week. My name is Chad Chats, and I will see you all next week.